So after former President Obama claimed credit for our current economic boom yesterday, President Trump fired back, saying the boom is due to rolling back Obama's policies by cutting regulations and taxes. So who's right? Who cares? Think about it. The debate we're having isn't over how great things are. That ship has sailed. The media and the Dems see there's no more denying the success, so now it's about quibbling over credit. Fine. Let the Dems have it. It won't win them election, but it might reduce their tears. Divorce rumors continue to escalate for the Obamas. Hopefully they can settle it like men.
Greg Gutfeld just lit a fire under Barack Obama's carefully manicured legacy and left nothing but ashes. The charm, the speeches, the myth of hope and change. Vaporized. With sarcasm like a scalpel and truth bombs on full auto, Gutfeld dismantles the saintly glow around 8 years of broken promises, media worship, and elite hypocrisy. Thought Obama's legacy was bulletproof. Greg just ripped the mask off and asked the one question no one dares. What did he actually fix?
Paul, is it helping the party to tell them to return to the rhetoric that helped them lose in 2024, like the dictator kind of stuff? It doesn't work on half the country. It's not going to get any better.
I don't think they have answers. And is it me? He's looking banged up.
Yeah, he's been having
it's the first time. It's something I've never seen with him. He looks scared.
Yeah.
Barack Obama pulled off the greatest political magic trick of our time. 8 years of failure wrapped in a Netflix gloss. The critics gave it 5 stars, but Greg Gutfeld's not buying the illusion. No wand, just wit, receipts, and a refusal to pretend flowery speeches make up for sinkhole policies. The crowd applauded, but all Greg saw was a con man dressed like a savior and a media hypnotized by their own reflection.
Asking you to believe, not in my ability to bring about change, but in yours. Yes, we can. Yes, we did. Yes, we can.
Oh, God.
Well, it was a moving speech, and the audience response equally moving. So if the Obama presidency were a film, this speech would be the climax. All that's missing is the horse, the sunset, the rousing closing music as the title card reads the end, perhaps in cursive.
He ran the country like it was his LinkedIn profile, all gloss, zero grit. Based on the fanfare, you'd think Barack Obama cured cancer, balanced the budget, and turned water into almond milk. But Greg Gutfeld staring at the receipts, drone strikes, selfies, and celebrity shout-outs. Strip away the halo, and what's left? A PR machine running on fumes and flashbulbs.
With somebody that you don't like and you try to lose them at the party. That's what Obama has done to Joe. He's lost them at the party, and now he's moving on. And then he tweets, and then you find out that he's tweeting about something else while you're at the party. And it's just, I think it's kind of mean to Joe. The second thing is that it's part of that I told you mechanism that only happens when things are good. Because do you think Obama would take any responsibility if the good times were actually bad times?
Greg Gutfeld tears back the curtain like a man who just found a scam in the fine print. Obama came in with promises of hope and change, but by the end, hope needed therapy and change was panhandling behind Whole Foods. The media spun stagnation into success, and everyone cheered like flat wages were a national miracle. Gutfeld's not buying it. He's just asking when exactly the magic happened.
President Obama took another stand against evil yesterday, lashing out at ISIS, pernicious gang crime and human rights abuses in left-wing dictatorships like Venezuela and Cuba. I was kidding. He went after Fox News again.
I think the effort to suggest that the poor are sponges, leeches, are...
Let's talk stimulus. Barack Obama's $1 trillion adrenaline shot that fizzled like flat soda. Greg compares it to dumping Gatorade on a forest fire and wondering why the trees still burned. It was an economic pity party plastered with signs that cost more than the jobs they were bragging about. Gutfeld saw the recovery, mostly on banners, not in bank accounts.
In an act of wonderfully skewed priorities, President Obama will appear in a reality TV show in which he gets survival tips from Bear Grylls in Alaska. Funny how far that is from the streets of Chicago, outposts in need of real survival training, much like the streets of Baltimore, Milwaukee, New York, New Orleans, where citizens are ventilated daily.
Obamacare, the crown jewel or crown of thorns, depending on your deductible. Greg Gutfeld lights that mess up like a blackout Christmas tree. The rollout looked like it was coded by interns with dial-up. Keep your doctor. Greg still looking, probably somewhere in Canada. The Peace Prize. A punchline. The surveillance state. A betrayal. Gutfeld calls it the biggest bait and switch since decaf coffee. And somehow, people still clapped.
Michelle Obama surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up. When she cleans it. When she cleans it.
Wall Street wasn't drained, it was upgraded. Obama talked tough on banks, but gave them the keys to the kingdom. Greg Gutfeld compares it to hiring a fox to guard hens, then acting surprised when there's feathers and blood. The media called every blunder historic. When Obama sneezed, MSNBC explained it as a bold new step in climate diplomacy. Gutfeld just shakes his head and counts the contradictions.
And maybe Obama had something to do with today's economy. I mean, without Obama, would we have Trump? Fact is, this debate says a lot about life today. The Trump economy is so great that Trump haters now want credit for it. Next thing you know, Obama will claim credit for putting kids in cages.
Barack Obama's school reform plan? Toss billions into bureaucracy and pray something good trickles down. Greg calls it academic trickle-down. Big bucks, fancy logos, zero results. Inner-city schools stayed broken. But hey, new slogans. On guns, Obama preached disarmament while surrounded by Secret Service. On deportations, he broke records while selling compassion. Greg's verdict: hypocrisy in a tailored suit with a teleprompter sidekick.
5 more words.
Fact: Obama's now a Republican.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about. But what should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody.
Obama nearly doubled the national debt and still got called a fiscal Jedi. Greg's jaw hits the floor every time someone calls him responsible. That's like giving a pyromaniac credit for central heating. Post-presidency, Obama didn't retire, he rebranded. Now he narrates documentaries like a smug Morgan Freeman understudy. And when Trump bulldozed his legacy, it crumbled like a set made of cardboard.
On Sunday, Val Jarrett went on CNN to defend her pal, President Obama. I wonder if the president prides himself on the fact that his administration hasn't had a scandal and that he hasn't done something to embarrass himself.
The president prides himself on the fact that his administration hasn't had a scandal and that he hasn't done anything to embarrass himself.
Now that's a low bar for achievement. He hasn't embarrassed himself. But it's true, no one on his staff was caught in bed with a giraffe yet. But to agree with Val, you got to ignore the IRS, the DOJ, Benghazi, Secret Service, Bo Bergdahl, and the secret server that led to the Orange Crush.
Unity was the slogan. Division was the playbook. While the country spiraled over bathrooms and pronouns, Barack Obama played spectator-in-chief, casually tossing rhetorical grenades and admiring the curtains. Greg Gutfeld calls it theater governance, all stagecraft, no substance. Scandal-free. Only if you count the media hiding skeletons in the basement. Gutfeld says the act fooled millions, but the script was rigged from day one.
Today we woke up to breaking news. Obama isn't woke at all.
This idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. The world is messy. There are ambiguities. Yep. People who do really good stuff have flaws. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, or then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself because, man, you see how woke I was?
Obama didn't drain the swamp. He turned it into a gift shop. Government exploded in size and slogans, with accountability nowhere to be found. Greg jokes it grew like a Kia pet. Just add media praise. And the arrogance. Off the charts. Gutfeld says Obama could ruin a sandwich and still blame the bread. By the time he left, the country was broke, confused, and buried in poetic fluff, and somehow the applause never stopped.
Now, technically, it's a scandal telling America you can keep your doctor, a callous deception that hurts millions. And it's a scandal of will to deny a toxic doctrine fomenting apocalyptic violence. And it's a scandal to ignore the modern Black Death, a plague currently crippling Chicago. Obama's tenure had more dirty linen than Charlie Sheen's hamper. But when your heart's in the right place, doing the wrong thing's always forgivable. And maybe scandal was just so common.
Greg Gutfeld doesn't just roast Obama. He grabs the remote, rewinds the hype, and hits mute on the fanfare. Behind the branding, the perfect lighting, and the velvet words was a man who governed like a group project outsourced to clueless interns. Greg points to the legacy: cancel mobs, tech censorship, weaponized identity, and virtue signals wrapped in Ivy League smug. Obama didn't lead, he curated vibes. And now we're drowning in hashtags, lectures, and the soft glow of a political hologram.